And I'm so excited to talk with somebody who I love so much because she is a big ass and I love her, Blaire White. Hi, Blaire.
Hi, how are you? I'm so glad to be here. I have your sausage. And you also, for context, I have my sunglasses on because you got me drunk before we started this.
That's how we do it here.
Those sunglasses are to die for.
I know, they're Louis Vuitton, you know, just a little, had to bring it to Roseanne's house.
Let's try it again, Mom. Let's try it now.
Should I
try the sausage?
Yeah, try the sausage.
Yeah, no.
I killed it myself.
How long has it been dead?
It's been 2 months.
We've had these frozen for 2 months. They're safe.
I don't know, I believe it.
It's frozen.
How good's that?
It's actually so
What
good.
do you think?
I'm obsessed, and you know what? I need it because I had not eaten all day when
Oh,
you gave
I'm
me
so
the
glad.
multiple margaritas. But it feels good. So all I know is you're creating very quality content because you have a eating a sausage on your show right now, and I'm going to assume that's a first. I don't think you've done that before. So I want to believe in God, actually. Like, I think I even have like a tweet in my drafts right now where I'm like, can someone just like convince me God is real? Because I just feel like it'd be settling in some ways to just believe in God, but I don't really know how. You know, my brain kind of blocks that off. I do have moments where I like inch closer towards believing in it. You know, when I do DM sometimes, the picture starts to come.
Everyone tells me to try that.
I actually have had really, really profound realizations about my life doing it. I really have learned a lot about why I am the way I am, who I am. The only bad thing, and bad is kind of subjective here, is that it did unlock a lot of traumatic memories for me about my childhood. It unlocked that. And so for initially I was like, oh wow, I could have gone my whole life without knowing that. But also I'm glad I do. And I'm glad I know that that happened to me.
Yeah.
You know, because I learned that your brain blocks a lot out.
It sure does. And it brings things in. And, you know, I had big brain disorder stuff. When did you, I wanted to go, well, what did you find out? Did you get molested? Were you born this way?
I learned that my childhood was much more abusive than I had kind of realized. And I think that all people who go through, and I think you kind of talked a little bit about like your childhood and like the struggles as well. I think the first time we met, we kind of talked about that a little bit. I think that when you go through trauma as a young child, your brain does two things. So your brain, first of all, will make you forget a lot of it.
Yeah.
And the parts that you do remember, your brain will entirely normalize it, especially because whatever happened in your life is kind of normal to you, no matter how crazy it is. There's people who are, you know, tied up and kept in a closet every day of their childhood, and that's normal for them. So for me, I just realized the extent for how bad my childhood was, and that it's further on the spectrum of like bad than I thought, you know, which has been both rewarding and painful to understand. The rewarding part is I've learned a lot about why I have certain personality traits, and I've been able to sort of work on them and adjust them. And the painful is it ruins my view of certain individuals in my family and life and what they did, you know. So it is what it is.
It's like that for everybody. That's like just so human.
But you asked if I was born this way with the trans stuff. That's an interesting question, because what is born this way, really? You know, it's like if it's born this way, then that would mean you come out the womb like that. Maybe it happened in the fetus, when you're in a fetus. But then also, like, people don't really get memories until maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe it's something that happens at 3 or 4, and that would be perceived as born this way because that's your first memory. So
Yeah.
I don't really know.
At some point, it doesn't even matter.
You know what? The older I get, the more I understand that everyone's kind of like just mentally ill in a different way. You know?
Do you think that on some level, if you are from an abusive childhood, that would, I mean, you talk about this all the time, being disassociated.
Well, I know dissociation makes
Do you think there's a link between disassociation and mental illness?
Well, yeah, all mental illness is dissociation.
I agree, but nobody talks about it. And you and I have talked about this before. There's so much going on in
It's
America
trauma.
today that
Trauma
PT
causes-
is PTSD. It's post-traumatic stress disorder, and we see a lot of it. And when we look at politics in America and all this stuff, nobody ever brings up the PTSD element, or the trans community, or gay, or straight, or whatever. So much of it, I believe, and I've been in so much trouble for saying this for years, but I think PTSD is responsible for about 98% of every problem in America right now.
Right.
My thing is,
So that's what my whole thing about the bonus hole.
yeah,
They're going to make everything about 0.002% with the bonus hole
yeah.
and ignore all women.
Now I really want to find God hearing that word, that phrase.
Bonus.
Have
holes.
you not heard it?
No, I've heard it. I just, maybe not ever out loud in person. So just hearing it is just like, wow, that's fucked up.
Well, I just
It's
wanna-
like so pedo.
It's everything. It's
dehumanization.
everything bad. It's dehumanization. It's medicalization. It's it's anti-women.
No, it's like saying the hole in the mouth is the primary holes. It's the pedo speak.
yeah,
That's a clip.
Because that's what they do.
sadly.
But most pedos like the butt and the mouth.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's called opening the third portal in the devil worship cult.
What, the putting it in the hole or mouth?
The butthole. That's what gives you the panda eyes that they worship that Lady Gaga wears.
That's a clip too, right there, I think.
Honey, they're as dirty as you can dare to dream.
I always say that getting older is learning how many people do drugs and how many people are diddlers.
Yeah.
So way more people than you think doing whatever the everyone's on something. When you're a kid, you think everyone's raw dogging life. That's not the case. And you also learn how many people are diddlers.
Yeah.
Like,
No
yeah.
When you're a kid, you find out, though, don't you?
In a way, yes, but in a way, no, because here's a small story. So I used to hang out when I was like 15 or 16 with this like 30-year-old man. And when you're 15 or 16, you think that's cool. I was getting alcohol bought for me and my friends. I was getting to stay over at some guy's house and lie over where my mom was. And, it's not until you look back as an adult and be like, that was a fucking pervert. And a couple years ago, I saw on Facebook, he got arrested for diddling like some 13-year-old kid. So
Oh my God.
he was, that's what that is. So you learn as you get older, because when you're a kid, you think it's just cool when adults pay you attention. That's part of why it's so fucked up.
That's why it's called grooming.
Yeah.
babes.
Because it's not just physical. If it was physical, then it would look like an attack under a bridge or an attack on the street. What makes someone like having the sickness is one thing. I can wrap my head around. You have this sickness that makes you attracted to something in a fucked up way, but like to put you in the mindset of like, I'm going to act upon it is what's crazy to me. And I think it's like when you're so rich and powerful and you've been around along these motherfuckers, it's like maybe you have less opportunities to really produce like genuine serotonin. You've done it all, you've seen it all, you have access to it all. You got to start doing deviant shit,
Yeah, it has to, the thrill for a psychopath and a sociopath is the thrill has to always increase. They're never excited at the same thing for too long.
Right.
Like being in love with somebody.
Yeah, it's an escalation.
It has to escalate. And,
Wow.
like serial killers are like that. They start out as window peepers,
Yeah.
and then the thrill has to get stronger and stronger.
Start off on animals.
Of risk,
Yeah.
They know how to get kids.
They do.
Absolutely.
They
Well, they're
know
the
how
easiest to get.
They're satanic. They know how to do everything.
Depressing. Well, this
Get them on
podcast took
drugs
a
and
dark turn.
everything. Well, we went all to the dark.
We went to the motherfucking gutters.
We did.
We really did.
Well, we came up from there, so what the hell?
Because we're it.
Because we are it.
And you can't f***ing kill us.
You can't kill us.
You could try,
You could try,
but you will fail.
but you will fail.
Hello.
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 Well, I'd like to very much thank my fantastically thinking and entertaining guest, Blaire White. Thank you so
Yay.
much for being here. It was a
This
blast.
was so fun. I feel like whenever I hang out with you, I get like a little dose of like maternal energy that I never have because I'm estranged from my mom. So get a tiny bit of maternal vibes.
That's cool. That's sweet.
You got off lucky.
Let's go eat.
I'm hungry as shit.